You're probably feeling a range of emotions at the moment. There's no right or wrong way to respond to a diagnosis of ovarian cancer. But after many years of talking to women and their families, we know that there are some helpful things you can do soon after diagnosis to make it feel less overwhelming.
I think it's very important that you tell your friends, you take the time to tell them what's happening, where you're at, and most of them will just say, how can I help? And really all you want is for them to be there and to ring you from time to time.
When we're talking about diagnosing ovarian cancers, women often come along with a large ovarian cyst, and we are not certain at the time of surgery whether this is going to turn out to be a cancer or something that's benign. So you have to talk to women beforehand about what's possibly going to be involved at the time of surgery. We would plan to do this sort of procedure in a setting where we have the availability of expert pathologists on hand during the surgery, so we can actually send the ovarian cyst down for an assessment at the time of the operation and find out whether there is actually a cancer present within it. And if there is, the plan would then be to make sure there's been no spread from that ovarian cancer into any of the other tissues.
When I was first diagnosed, I was completely shocked because I didn't expect it to be something serious. I went and did a little exploratory operation just to find out why I wasn't falling pregnant, because I'd been doing IVF for some time. And the doctor found something and he didn't know what it was. The next day I went into the oncologist and he told me that it was 2 tumours on my ovaries. One was pre-malignant and the other one was malignant. And I just sat for a second, tick, 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 I've got cancer? I just couldn't believe it.
Normally, if you do find an ovarian cancer, the next step is to look at the other ovary, because that's a common site of spread. The ovary has a very fine surface on it, and it's very common for cancer to come through that surface and spread out into the cavity of the abdomen. And we would look all the way through the abdominal cavity for any signs of cancer spread anywhere else.
My name's Sandra and this is my husband Jeff, and I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer almost 2 years ago.
You're going along quite happily and suddenly get this news that your wife's really sick and you think, wow, how do we deal with this?
Your brain's going in a zillion different directions, trying to process a lot of information.
And she looks fine, and how can Sandra be sick? Why didn't she know all the symptoms?
Yeah.
She works in this sort of area yet didn't recognise why did it take so long, and you realise that ovarian cancer, the symptoms are so vague that even people who work in the medical area don't necessarily pick up on it as quickly as you might expect.
Unfortunately, there are no conclusive reasons why women develop ovarian cancer. There are some thoughts behind it, and we do know that women who are of Ashkenazic Jewish background do have a higher risk of developing ovarian cancer. Some other risk factors are having few or no full-term pregnancies, having not used oral contraceptives at all during their life. Also, diet and nutrition play a big important part, and we do know smoking is a cause of various types of cancers. The average age that we see women develop ovarian cancer is around 60, but we do know that women younger than that can develop ovarian cancer as well. We do know that women who do have a family history of ovarian cancer do possibly have a higher risk of developing ovarian cancer themselves. They can visit a genetics counsellor who can then sit down and talk through the processes of genetic mapping in accordance with their family history and see what their risk factors might be.
My name's Megan. I was 29 years of age when I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. I was diagnosed with a non-hereditary form of ovarian cancer. Being diagnosed with cancer at 29 was a scary thing. It wasn't obviously something that I was aware of, that people even got cancer at 29 years of age, let alone ovarian cancer. My journey through my medical battle with cancer was a lonely one. There were a lot of people a lot older than me on the cancer wards. So from that point of view, I did crave people of my own age to talk to who had been through similar circumstances.
Learning more about ovarian cancer is empowering. It helps you know what to expect and to relieve some of your anxiety, and helps you to become an active partner in your journey.
Surgery was a great relief for me because it established exactly what was what and how bad it was and where it was. As with all abdominal surgery, it hurts. It hurts a lot.
It was a huge effort to get better. It really was. It was just exhausting, I have to say. And the doctor said to me, a couple of months later, he said, "You started to think you were never going to get out of hospital, didn't you?" I said, "No, it's getting that way." Everyone else sort of in the other wards near me seemed to be going, very quickly. I would walk every day. Once I could get up, go one room, then it was two. So I would try and walk maybe 2-3 times a day.
Every day, of course, it gets a little better and a little better. Once you know what it is, then you can form a plan to actually tackle it, to improve the situation. And this gives you power and it gives you control. And I think that makes all the difference, and it put the fear way back.
Life will be different following a diagnosis of ovarian cancer. The effects of the disease and its treatment can present all kinds of unique challenges. However, there are many people and organisations that can provide you and your family with information and support to make the journey a little easier.
With Ovarian Cancer Australia, they're an incredible support network. When I was going through my treatment, the resilience kit was being formulated, but there was a lot of information on the website, and the girls at Ovarian Cancer Australia were always willing to listen, very helpful with answers and guidance to areas of support and information that was not readily out there at the time. By being in the support groups, one of the things that I myself felt was it was great to actually listen to what other people were going through. You yourself know what you're going through, so you don't necessarily always want to talk about it. But it's very empowering to be in a room with other women that have been diagnosed or going through treatment, or also survivors. It's the most empowering feeling to be in that room with a bunch of those women.
My daughter Claire and I attended our first support group 3 months after my diagnosis. It was a valuable experience for her and I, because we got to meet other women going through the same sort of things we had been through, or that I had been through, but that she was also experiencing. It was good to talk to other women because you all had a common bond.
Ovarian Cancer Australia's monthly telephone support group helps to ensure that all women affected by ovarian cancer, particularly those in rural and regional areas, have access to information, understanding and support. Online support groups, forums and chat rooms provide a convenient way for women and their friends and carers to connect with others who are going through similar experiences. However, remember that not all information you get from online groups may be accurate or suitable for you. Be sure to talk to your healthcare team before trying any treatment suggestions you come across in an online group. Ovarian Cancer Australia's online forum gives you access to a community of compassionate and supportive women who have been touched by ovarian cancer.
Yeah, when I was first diagnosed, I was amazed by the outpouring of love. Everybody wanted to let me know how much they cared about me and they wanted to help and so forth. And one of the hard things for me was actually saying, yes, I would like you to help me. It was hard to accept help, but you really need to do that because you can't do everything yourself, and it's a mistake to try because it's just too stressful. And when you let other people help you, then they get a benefit from that as well. They get to feel that they're actually contributing and they're helping you to get through this awful experience. So you're actually doing them a big favour